Welcome to Creative Writing Energy, conversations about the writer's life, craft and alternative practices with Kim Peterson and Catherine Evans. Hello, Kath. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Kim. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What you up to?
Just working, writing, doing things.
Yeah. And
busy.
It's always something going on. And we're going to dive into a bit of the writing today, aren't we?
We are. Big talk on writing.
But first, I believe you have a creative writing prompt for us.
Yes. Our creativity prompt is put research gently and firmly aside. Today is the time to write with what you already have.
Nice. Is that what you're doing this week?
Hey, I actually did it before we talked.
You wrote?
I picked up my old story and no more research, get straight into it.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just got to do that, don't you? You just got to...
Yeah, you do.
You can definitely, procrastinate, form of resistance. Oh, I just look this up and I'll just look that up and yeah.
Down that rabbit hole.
So what?
Down that rabbit hole I go.
Yes. Well, today we have a special guest with us. She was born in Manchester, England, and moved back and forth across the world an astounding 13 times in 14 years until eventually, at the age of 18, deciding to stay put in Australia, where she spends her days on Queensland's beautiful Sunshine Coast, writing tales of romantic suspense and humorous cozy mysteries. She is a USA Today best-selling author of the Westport Mysteries, and her debut novel, Killer Unleashed, received a bronze medal in the 2016 Reader's Favourite International Book Award. She is one awesomely talented writer and our dear friend. Please welcome Beth Prentice. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Kath.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Yes, very well. Cold day here on the Sunshine Coast today, but we had a big storm last night, so we got lots of rain. Very happy about that. But other than that, yep, going well.
Nice. Well, thanks for joining us here today. We've been excited about having you here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm a bit nervous about being here with you ladies.
Because we're so scary.
Nervous.
You're very good at what you do. I'm not sure I'm that good at this.
We bluff well.
Well, I'm always going to think about your 12-year-old nephew and what he said. Why don't you tell everyone what he said?
My nephew, I love him dearly, said that we were kind of funny, but pretty much dumb. And that's us, I think. That's our new tagline.
Funny and dumb.
Hey, I think it's funny. That's good.
Yeah.
Funny's good.
So today we're going to talk to Beth about creativity and how she taps into that creative side of her brain to produce all those wonderful books that she does. Aren't we? But first we're going to do our oracle cards because we haven't done that yet. This is the dumb part. You want to go first, Kath?
Okay. Trust your vibes again. And I grounded before we did this, so let's hope that doesn't come out.
Oh, sound check.
Sound check.
Okay. What does that mean?
Testing 1, 2.
Yes, I do that every time before we record. So yeah, I did my sound check.
It says the more you pay attention to the energy around you, the quicker you activate your clairaudience, the ability to tune into your higher self, angels and guides.
And dirty dancing.
And dirty dancing. Yes.
That's kind of weird, isn't it?
That is weird.
Yeah. I was just telling Kath and Beth how this really weird thing's happening with my iPad lately, and Dirty Dancing. It keeps just playing on its own. So yeah, there you go. Beth, any thoughts about sound check?
Just what does it mean exactly? Why did you pull that card? What does it mean? Is it just a prompt to say check your sound, or is it mean something higher than that?
We never know what it means. Sometimes by the end of our talk, it makes sense, and sometimes once it was a bit personal, but mostly by the end of our chat, we go, oh.
Yeah, and whether or not it's to do with our episode, it's could be a message for us personally or listeners as well. It could resonate. You know,
I wonder if you remember the last time the three of us chatted like this. I had a very noisy dog in the background.
Yeah.
And a very noisy bird. Maybe it's telling me check her sound.
Maybe.
Alrighty, so I'll pull mine quickly and then we'll get into it. And I am using the Soul Journey of Souls. We like that. And I've shuffled and I like this one. Honesty. You see that?
Yes.
I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Pretty straightforward.
I have a question then. Why do you ladies choose those particular packs? Out of all the packs you can have, why have you chosen those particular packs today? Does it just come to you? Do you just feel like picking up that pack, or is there a reason?
Well, for me, before we started doing it,
okay, Kim, I want to know your reason now.
Well, why do I use Soul Journey?
Yeah, why today? Why that one?
I'm using. I use Soul Journey every week. I think these cards they're quite simple. They're not, they're very simple to use, and the messages are clear and concise, and yeah, they might sort of be easier to resonate with for us and for listeners, potential listeners, I should say. Yeah. How about you, Kat?
Well, I bought mine at a sale through Hay House just before we started, and when I got them, I thought it was for our podcast. They weren't for me. I don't know why. Just when I opened the box and I looked at them, I thought, oh, these aren't for me.
You just knew.
Yeah, so I've used the same deck every week through the podcast. So I just shuffle before we talk, and then I cut and lift up the top card when it's my turn to do the card. Yeah.
So it's more of a business. This is about the podcast card rather than a personal one. Yeah,
I have decks that are my personal decks that I don't really share. I put them in our book, but I don't draw them for other people.
Yeah. Okay.
You ask hard questions.
We're supposed to be asking you the questions.
And answering them.
Alrighty, should we move on to our subject? We're talking about the brain, the creative brain, left brain, right brain. Kath, you always seem to refer to this.
Do I?
You do?
Yeah, I do.
You do, because you have a background in science.
Yeah, I have science me, creative me.
So do you want to talk a little bit about that and that transition into using those kind of, or switching from using those kinds of pathways, neuron pathways to get creative?
I don't know that I do it very well. My science brain, when I started writing, it was a creative outlet because I was sick, and I didn't, I'd spent like 18 years writing science, so it was dry, it was boring, it had no emotion, there was no personal stuff in it. You know, science writing is very factual, and you just have to get to the nitty-gritty straight away. So to write creatively, it's the complete opposite. You've got to put everything into it. You've got to build up emotion. You've got to, you know, everything you don't do in science, you've got to do in creative writing. And that was really hard. That's probably been the thing that's taken me the longest to change my thinking, because I'd been drilled so much into that mold of not doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
So for me, I've really struggled with that, as well as my two me's. There's been quite a lot of struggles in this brain of mine.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's well known, you know, that we have the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, and you know, the left is sort of more to do with logic and sequencing and facts and that kind of thing, while the right brain is imagination and intuition and holistic thinking. They used to think that you would sort of tend to be either left-brained or right-brained. Sounds a bit weird, but now research has sort of proved that that's not true, that we're always using both parts of our brain, right? So Beth, how do you I mean, you know, being authors in today's publishing landscape, there's a whole lot more to being an author than just writing. We have to think about marketing and audience engagement, social media platforms, you know, newsletters, all those kind of things, which require the more logical, analytical thinking. And then on the other hand, we have to create, and we rely on our creativity, you know, as writers. So how do you balance that, Beth, between those things?
Sometimes I struggle with it because I'm lucky that my day job is here in this office at home, because we just run family business. So I have and my background's bookkeeping. So bookkeeping is very much straightforward, putting things in boxes, making sure everything's tidy and logical. So if I have a day where I'm bookkeeping, I have to literally, this sounds really stupid, I have to clear my desk of it. It has to be packed away in its box, in the cupboard, and then to switch on that other side of my brain. And then when I go, sort of sit down and start to do that, okay, I'm going to be writing now, I still find myself procrastinating. So I find myself flipping over to Facebook and emails and doing all that sort of stuff, almost procrastinating, delaying.
It's like resistance, isn't it?
It is. It's resistance.
Yeah.
So I have a few little things that I do. I like my diffuser here with my oils in it, and put my little pack of crystals in my bra. But mostly for me, it's just clearing the desk, clearing the decks, and getting so that I can have, you know, clear pathways to start thinking differently.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, largely it's it is just about sitting down and just getting started, isn't it? And
it is.
Yeah.
It's just pushing those words out, whether they're good or bad words. Yeah. It doesn't matter the first hour for me. It's just you get them out. And then so I tend to do all my other work in the morning, and then I go and I'll have some lunch, and after lunch I'll clear my desk and go, okay, now we're writing. But I find for that first hour it's not great writing. It's slow, it doesn't come easily. But the longer I sit at it, the faster they come. So by the time I get around to 4 o'clock and it's like, okay, now I need to start packing this up, and I usually go for a walk with some friends. But that's at the point where I'm really starting to fly across the keys and really pumping this story out, and then I've got to stop. So it's like, but I need to keep going.
Yeah.
But life just has to be done, and you have to stop and start where you can, and just try to build that pathway to be faster. Every time I switch out of it, then you come back, it's got to be a faster pathway to get onto.
Yeah, it's got to like building that creative muscle, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, it is just about sitting down there and getting it done, and And then, yeah, you kind of reach that point where you hopefully get into the zone.
Yes.
And that's when the words are flowing. Yeah.
And just incidentally, I find it hard to switch back as well. So if I'm in that creative zone and then my husband walks in and says, here's an invoice, can you process this? Oh, it'll take me a bit like, no. I struggle to switch back to the other side as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it interrupts your creativity brain, that brain, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. How about you, Kath?
Hey, well, I was going to ask, what oils and crystals do you use that change you?
Oh, that's a good question. My oils today, I don't know if you ladies know, our lovely cover designer, Patty Roberts, has this beautiful little book. I don't know if you ladies use it or not. So it's about diffusing essential oils, and I like to try to use really pure oils. So at the moment, I do use doTERRA oils. And I'll just go through this and decide what I need today. And often when I'm writing, I need the motivation. Today I put in the study one. So I've got peppermint, grapefruit and rosemary burning today because it's supposed to help with that concentration and that focus. So it just depends really on what I need help with. Most of the time they're my favourites. Because I always need help concentrating and focusing, so that's what I've got burning today. But my crystals, excuse me ladies, I'm just going to sneak it out of its little, I know, right? Because it's a bag. And you know, yeah, my daughter bought me this, and it's a creativity kit, and I have added a couple of stones to it. I'll pull them out. My trouble is, if you ask me what the stones are, I can't tell you. All I know is they're pretty and they're pretty colours.
Kath might know. She's good with stones.
Yeah, if I can get them out of the that is. I know there's the purple one, which is amethyst in here. I'll cut this little tag here. Sorry.
Don't have to pull it apart for us.
Okay. You might be able to tell me what they are, because I'd really like to know. I think the purple one, I don't know if you can see that, it's amethyst. It's a bit hard because the light in here is very bad. And I've got this pretty little blue one. It's just gorgeous. It's like a creamy.
Is it cloudy blue with
it is. It's like a creamy colour. It's got like little brown spots in it.
So blue lace agate should be for communication.
Okay, that's a really good one. So I've also got this it's clear, and it's kind of like a yellowy colour, and it's clear.
Like citrine, maybe?
Is citrine clear? Like I can see straight through it.
Well, citrine's kind of yellow, like a shade of yellowy orange.
Yep, that's probably right. What does citrine?
Is that it?
Maybe. It's kind of clear, and then it's got these little browny bits at the top. It's really hard to show you what
it could be a smoky quartz. Hard to see through the Zoom.
All I know is my daughter bought me this little creativity kit, and it had about 5 stones in it. And I've added a couple when people have given them to me. I know some of them are supposed to be clear the mind, focus and that type of thing, but it really works. And I know
that was my next question. The question, does it work?
Yes,
does it work for you?
I don't know whether what it's technically doing. I don't know the science behind it, but whether it's just, I know it's there and it helps me focus.
Maybe it's kind of like a placebo effect.
Maybe, I don't know, or if they're genuinely magic little stones. But I can find them in the afternoon where I'm not working very well. The words aren't flowing, creativity's not coming, the story's not coming. And then I'll go, oh, I forgot to put my little crystals in. So I'll pop them in just, somewhere on the body where they get warm. And within probably 20 minutes, it just starts to flow.
Cool.
The words just start to come. And I think they're my magic little stones.
Other than crystals and incense and all that kind of thing, what do you think drives your creativity?
Just my desire to tell the story, to get my characters out there and get them heard. And I don't know if this is what you're actually asking or not, but I sort of feel that my strengths in my writing are my characters. I hopefully write a good story, but I still think my strength is in the character more than in the story. And I just really want them heard. I just love my characters, and I want people to like their journeys that they go on. So it just drives me to sit down and tell the story.
Yeah.
Even sometimes I don't know what the story is. Like now, I'm writing a story at the moment and I'm a bit stumped on which way I should go with it. But I know I want to write it, and it makes me sit down every afternoon and just keep figuring it out.
Do people tell you their story?
I love listening to people's stories. People often,
you mean like
in general in life?
No, your characters in your story.
Yeah, they do. They tell me. They often tell me. And I was reading something yesterday that said if your character in your story is not coming to you, it's because you're not clear on it. And I thought that's actually really 100% right, because I'm not 100% clear for a mystery. It is a mystery, and I've got a couple of ideas on which way the mystery could go. And until I figure that out, as soon as I do, that character will start to talk to me and she will tell me that. But it's almost like something's just out of your reach. It's there, but I just can't quite grip onto it. And I know I've just got to relax, because it's me forcing it. I've just got to relax, have my little stones and my smelly stuff there, and just trust the character that she'll tell me the right way to go. Yeah.
When I'm feeling that way with a story, a bit blocked or unsure about, stumped, where you sort of, like you said, you know it's there and it's just beyond your reach. I do a lot of sort of, I deliberately kind of try to take a step back from it and just sort of nurture that trust of the creative part of my brain, and trust that it's going to come to me. And it always does, doesn't it?
It does, and it comes, and it's right and it works. As soon as you get that the penny drops, yep, and then it just all flows.
And it's kind of like, and once you start, then the ideas will come. They'll just keep coming, and you'll explore different ways. It's like a muscle.
Yeah, I don't know if you ladies work the same way I do. Like once I know the essence of the mystery, I don't even have to think about it. It's not even an idea that comes to me then. I don't go, oh, I'll get her to do this, or I'll get her to do that. I'll be writing the words and suddenly she's doing that.
Yeah.
Does that work the same for you ladies?
Yeah, for sure. You don't even know that it's going to come. It just flows out. Yeah. You said no, Kath?
No, mine's much harder. Yours sounds easy. I have to fight for mine. Like I have to play in my head every combination that I think up before I can come to the one that's right.
Do you think that's your science background, that part of the book that's doing that?
Probably. So INTJ-ness, I think.
Probably.
Logical.
Yes, it's my control freakness. But like the story that I've been working on for 100 years, the edits came back from a publisher, and it shouldn't be that hard to change. Like I just had to change her age, which is easy, isn't it? But if you change someone from 16 to 21, 22, like she has to grow up. Her whole mind has to grow up. The whole story has to change. Everything changes. And so my poor head has been going on these tangents of what's she really like at 22? What's this, And I've had to grow up, and that's taken me about 5 years to grow.
You grew with it.
I had to let her grow. Which is really embarrassing. But I can't just, it doesn't, maybe I don't trust. I don't know. That's what you guys are saying. You just sit and trust and it happens. And I don't.
But it doesn't always come that easy. Well, it doesn't always come that easy, when you get into that flow, yeah. But other times, not so. Maybe just
some days
the day of the week it is.
Some days my characters are just silent.
And then what do?
You just keep
I just
pushing
write
it
through
out.
Yeah, and I can write terrible words and go back the next day and go, what was I doing? And sometimes even scrap what I've done. But 9 times out of 10, it won't get scrapped. It'll just be left and it will be edited by me.
Yeah,
Like
at least the words are there to play with.
That's it. It's so much easier when the words are on the page to change them than it is to put them there in the first place.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
So
how
I guess at the end of the day, creativity, do you think it's some kind of mystical place that we kind of, you know, tap into? Do you think it's more, you know, knowledge based? I mean, I think you know, I think it's I've heard people talking about memory base versus the mystical. What do you think, Beth? Yes.
I just think it's brain training, and I think some people are more in tune to that. Like when you're saying left side, right side of brain, that they're now saying they work together. I think they do, but I think we're still programmed to be more one than the other. And we can do both, and they do obviously work together all the time. But I think some people are just more tuned into that creativity, so they allow it. Then they don't put as many maybe restrictions on themselves or rules on themselves, so they allow it to flow. Where others are more logical thinking, so that's their strength because that's what they do. And I think we need both in the world. But personally, I think it's probably, you can train it to go different if you really want to go the opposite way if you really want to.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the blocks to creativity are self-imposed. Yeah. What do you think, Kath? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I block myself a lot. And I know even when I read other people's stuff, the stupidest things will pick me up. You know, like I've worked with a lot of, like you two and other authors on series and things together. And, you know, like everyone will be going along and suddenly I'll go, hang on a moment. If the full moon happened on this day, then this wouldn't happen in the darkness because we haven't let 2 weeks go. You know, like who gives a shit, really? But that's my brain. My brain will pick up on that because it's so important. And really it means nothing, you know, in the whole scheme of things. But yeah, so my blocks are so stupid like that.
I think that's stupid. I think that's important to you, and there's a lot of readers like that out there that would pick up on that, where to almost skim read a little bit. So I'm reading the story, but I'm not reading it letter by letter. I'm so engrossed in the story, so I probably wouldn't have even noticed that, like what you're saying. You make a great editor.
No, because you drive yourself nuts.
It was a full moon last night, Kath.
Yeah, I know. That's why I use that example in my head.
I thought about you. I wondered if you were going a bit crazy last night.
Well, I did go out there and have a look. And what do you mean
now?
crazy? I didn't turn into a werewolf or anything.
I find it really interesting, Kath, because there's this real creative side of you that is really in tune to the world and nature and everything around you, but you're so logically thinking. Whereas, like, if I didn't know that about you, if I didn't know that you had a science background, I would actually think you were, which you are, extremely creative, but I wouldn't have thought you would have had that barrier, because I would have thought, no, you're free and you go with the flow and you don't overthink things. Like, so I find you really interesting that way, and that's a compliment. It's not.
I find her very interesting too.
Well, will I tell you my really weird self? I was in yoga one morning, and we were doing like a deep meditation, and I could see my 2 selves. One was this straight-laced, stiff slouchy man in a suit, and the other one was this hippie chick who was like, yeah. And I could feel my body, like my left side was like frozen stiff and my right side was all floppy and relaxed. And I got out of this meditation going, oh my God, there's two of me. So that's how my brain works. You know, half the time I'm censoring myself and the other time I'm hippie chick, happy, you know.
Are you more comfortable one side or the other?
No.
See, I think we all need both. I think in what I'm hearing from you is they're both very identifiable, where most of us kind of blend them.
Yeah, mine, I have introduced them because someone suggested that. As a romance writer, you should be able to get a guy and a girl together, you know, it should be easy. But so far they've just had, you know, a meeting that wasn't pleasant, and I haven't got them back together yet.
You know, Kath, I'm so glad that you're the kook this week and not me.
I know.
That's one for your nephew.
I know.
Yeah.
My left brain, right brain. See, that's why I think it's true. Even though it's so disproved now, but still, I still have trouble getting my man and my woman together. Anyway.
Whole romance book in that alone.
I know. It's wonder the things you come up with when you're meditating.
Yeah. The mystery of life, eh? Alrighty. I think that we're probably due to wrap this up. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? My soundtrack check was probably keep quiet. Don't tell the stories.
You didn't miss it, but you were honest. You were honest yourself. So I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. See, there, your male and female counterparts can can chew that out with their sound checks.
Maybe I need the roadie to bring them together.
The what?
A roadie, you know, sound check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, you know, like a concert roadie, one of those.
Yeah, like a concert roadie. Yeah. Anyway, you're right.
Nice.
I am crazy today.
You are crazy. But we want to thank a very big thank you to Beth Prentice for joining us today and talking about her creativity and how she gets there and her crystals.
Thank you for having me here. It's been heaps of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Kath, why are you feeling all kooky? You should mention our Patreon page.
Well, because everybody needs to give $1 a month to a kooky, crazy person to listen to them talk more about creativity. No, seriously, if you want to sponsor us on patreon.com/creativewritingenergy for as little as $1 a month, you could become part of our community where we help you with your kooky craziness and your creativity.
Yep, seriously.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Things.
We send you things like magnets and make you things and
personology cards and our creativity prompts every week.
Yeah, nice stuff. Okay, well, till next time, I guess we're going. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Bye.
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 Bye.